FX's Animal Kingdom could take my money for the most underrated crime drama of the past 20 years. Other than its Reddit page, and well, let's be honest, every TV show has a Reddit page, but other than that, I rarely hear anyone talking about it, even though the show isn't even 5 years removed from its epic crescendo of a finale that sees our main character, Jay, finally take revenge on his estranged family for the mistreatment of his late mother. I don't think I've ever seen a TV show this fast-paced all the way through. The show has it all, from the regular street action to the multiple over-the-top heist scenes that look like they come straight from Grand Theft Auto. The show remains at 100 miles per hour, but also serves as a Shakespearean level tragedy. Let's talk about it.
Bristow talk to him slow. I turn her up to a pack. Her best friend told her she better get back. Okay. Hey. I turn her up to a pack. Her best friend told her she better get back.
But before we start, if you like content like this and you're new to this channel, which you most likely are, seeing that 98% of you guys are new, then hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, join the family. We're on the road to 3K subscribers. We try to do this shit weekly, but let's get right into the video. The Codys are a fucking mess. Led by matriarch Janine Smurf Cody, the first season sees her and her 4 sons, Darren, Craig, Boz, and Andrew, better known as Pope, take in the son of their deceased estranged sister, Julia, named Josh, or Jay for short. From the beginning, you can tell that there's tension between the criminal family and their estranged nephew, with Darren, the youngest brother, proclaiming that Josh's mom could have easily ingrained hate into Jay's head, seeing how bad the relationship between the two sides ended, with Julia being banished to live the rest of her life chasing highs while Jay was to experience it, up to the point where he was partially responsible for Julia's overdose and subsequent death. In sunny South California, the Codys family tree sort of serves as a food chain, with Smurf on top, successfully grooming her young sons and daughter to be thieves and murderers. The saddest example of this being Andrew, as it's revealed pretty early in the show that he suffers from a mental illness that I can only describe as bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, which of course in turn stifles his social abilities. From the first episode, it's revealed that he spent 3 years in prison for a bank job gone wrong with Boz, the smooth-talking, way too smart for his own good planner of the family, with 2, potentially 3 children with 2, potentially 3 different women. The original core 4 of the family rounds out with the lovable musclehead Craig, who ironically is the one who develops a heavy drug addiction throughout the show. Him and Darren are pretty much inseparable, not always seeing eye to eye, but always having each other's back when it really matters. Then of course, there's Josh, who begins the show at the bottom, but through quote-unquote loyalty and his ability to be 2 to 3 steps ahead of literally everyone, even law enforcement, Smurf slowly gives him more and more responsibility after she's arrested for the murder of Javi, a case pretty much orchestrated by Boz, which gets him killed, a hit 100% orchestrated by Smurf herself, carried out by one of Jay's 7 love interests throughout the show, Mia. I'll make this part quick, but like all of the love interests on this show suck, like pretty bad. The worst character of the entire show being Nikki, Jay's high school girlfriend. It feels like none of them had any real purpose other than to create a rift between the family, which hey, isn't a bad premise, but I can only take so many, you should take more responsibilities and you should be the real boss of the families and we should run away together, before it becomes stale. 2 massive moments of this show are Jay's promises to Smurf. The first being that he wouldn't let her go out like Manny, her old bank robbing partner, old babbling away on a hospital bed, that he'd handle her himself. Another is the promise that he makes at the end of season 3, where Jay promises to take everything and everyone Smurf has ever loved. 2 promises that he would end up keeping by the end of the show. And you almost feel bad for the old bitch and her family. Well, up until the start of season 4. By the beginning of season 4, we already have a pretty good image of how ruthless, heartless, and evil Smurf Cody could be. But fuck, man, these flashback sequences are damn near character assassination. It starts off tame enough as we slowly watch Janine rise the ranks of the California crime circuit, from robbing banks with the father of Julia and Andrew, Colin, to her meeting Darren's father, to her pretty much grooming her children into her lifestyle, bringing in an orphan Boz, and Boz slowly forming a relationship with Julia, which Smurf didn't like one bit. The facade of Smurf only wanting to protect her family slowly melts into jealousy, as Julia attempts to convince Andrew to leave the family home and in turn is banished and outcasted from the family as a whole. not only by Smurf but also by her brainwashed sons. Ellen Barker is phenomenal in her role as the godmother of the Southern California crime scene, and her role and overall character is only elevated by a phenomenal performance by Layla George playing young Smurf. I am of the opinion that the ending of this show is pretty much a slam dunk. Haunted by his past and arrested for the murder of Catherine, a crime he committed at the end of season 1. Andrew is in jail, and his brothers, alongside Josh, are attempting to break him out. But the Codys have a major problem. We are met with one of the best, one of the most reasonable betrayals in TV history by Jay, as we see him set up all 3 of his uncles, pinning the police on them, letting them know that they're breaking Andrew out, and wiring all of the remaining money from his family to his own account. But the only thing he didn't expect was for one of them to make it out alive, and Andrew did just that. The entire show pretty much does a gigantic full circle. The tragedy of a mentally ill Andrew ending with him dying, sparing Jay after intending to kill him for betraying the family, which in my opinion is one last attempt of redemption by Andrew for betraying and abandoning his sister. Craig's story ends in tragedy as he decides a little too late to turn his life around for Ren and his son Nick, dying in Darren's arms. I believe that Craig's death scene is a pretty beautiful one, dying in Darren's arms looking out into the sunset, getting the death he wanted against all odds. Darren seemingly gets away, with his earlier suspicions of Jay being a rat coming true. Darren's story arc is pretty much left open-ended. We don't know what he does after he escapes the police. Honestly, we don't even know if the nigga escapes the police. Which leaves Josh, who in my opinion is one of the best protagonists I think I've ever watched. He completes his mission, fully taking over his estranged family's criminal empire after years of planning and a heart full of vengeance. As for the rest of the Cody criminal empire, well, it lies burning in his family home. My name is Micah Clark. I am Milk. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.